So welcome everyone. Today, this practice that we're going to do is going to revolve a lot around. We're going to revolve a lot around the spine. And first, for us to get to working with the spine, I'm going to ask you to find a comfortable position on the floor. You have either a mattress or something to put under. You can also just be on the wooden floor, and make sure that your hands are on your hip creases. You sort of let the external rotation of your legs take over, so we're not trying to keep them in parallel. And this creates a sort of opening on your hip joints. You should feel relaxed. And we're gonna just take this moment here, beginning of the class, to close our eyes, turn inwards. If you have, for some reason, any lower back problems and it feels uncomfortable, it's totally fine to place your feet parallel to your hips, and you'll find here a little bit of a support for the lower back. If you want to, if you don't feel that discomfort, you can stay here. Let's really a deep, long breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. So this is not a yoga breath today. Feel free to produce any sounds as you let the weight of gravity really plunder you to the floor. And by opening your diaphragm, your whole breathing box, your ribs, your lungs, your chest, really opening it up on your in-breath and squeezing it out very gently on your out-breath. Let your arms fall to the side. And as you keep this, you keep your breath, keep this breathing cycle. Let's start focusing on our spine. As we're turning inwards, have a feel for how your spine, how long it is actually. So your spine goes from the top, the crown of your head, where it inserts through the skull, to the tip of your hip, to your sacrum bone, the last bone, which is curvy, and it almost touches the perineum bone. We say that our sacrum bone and our perineum bone are sort of like pointing towards each other, but they are almost touching, but they're not. And it's that activation that creates this feeling of prana in yoga, for example, what they call the mulavanga. It's this belief or this intention that the sacrum and the perineum are going to touch each other one day. Let's just visualize the hook-like shape of our sacrum bone. Let's take it as the beginning of our spine. We go up from it and we enter the vertebra system. We have 36, if I'm not wrong, 36 vertebrae that sort of like latch on each other. And there's muscles and tendons that keep them together, but with a little bit of distance apart. When we feel discs and vertebrae getting too close together, that's when a lot of times we create hernias or dislocations of discs. So there's this need for the spine to follow total openness and to remember that when we breathe in, visualize that air going through the spaces between the discs and the vertebrae. Do you feel pain, discomfort? Do you feel like a part of your spine or the muscles around it are a little bit tense? Use the beginning here of the class to kind of scan through your vertebrae and really imagine the air going through a very thin passage between your spine. And at every in-breath, feel the space getting looser, but don't do anything about it. Just keep focusing on expanding your breathing box and removing the air. Your spine is not only attaching to your hips and attaching to your shoulders, giving you mobility of your extremities, but all of your spine is connected to nerve systems that send information to your brain and send it back so that you can do simple exercises as motion, just going back and forth, whatever motion means. But they also connect with the blood system. So they're the ones that send, it's all these nerves in your spine that send connections. You can see your spine is like the highway of your body, where not only everything, I wouldn't even say highway, but maybe like the airport. Your spine is the airport of your body because everything that gets here travels somewhere. It goes from destination A to B. Your spine could almost be like an S, the stress to your body. And everything, every single movement that you do goes through the spine. I want you to start sort of imagining movements. Start producing very small movements through your joint, to your arms. Keep it really free. But as you keep your intention inwards towards the spine, start noticing that in almost every movement that you do, it goes through the spine. From the moment that you think it, it already went through the spine. Let's try a few. Let's play a little bit with rotation side to side. By transferring the weight, you go from the right side, folding on the right side of your body. And you can see here how the spine controls and levels the rest of the body. Let's keep it very easy and slow, and let's keep our breath strong. And just go side to side, just to kind of warm the body a little bit. And let's keep our muscles relaxed. Let's keep gravity working. Let's let the initiator of your movement be your bones. Have that bone awareness. And let the muscles simply follow. This will create a quality that's very different from pulling your muscles. So now let's slowly start thinking about extension and bending. So I extend my spine, sending me further along space. How how babies start to move first before they start crawling. First thing that they do is kind of like play on the place that they are, and they start moving a little to the top of the cradle. This is literally their spine. Or just like the first specimens of crustaceans that through the evolution started growing bone-like structures that led into millions and millions of years of advancing and start being able not only to extend, but to rotate. They can start moving, start exploring the space. By integrating their spine work, one day they managed to flip over themselves. So they can roll on themselves. They can move through space. Stay on the floor and explore the relationship of your spine towards the rest of your body and towards movement. Thanks to your spine that you can arrange movement. But not only through arranging movement, it also allows you to go up and down. So millions of years have passed and this pre-mammal creatures have learned to not crawl, but they start standing on their own weight. With babies, the same. So they start crawling around. And they crawl a lot, especially the more lively one. My niece, she crawled like crazy when she was not even a year. But there's a moment that they start being able to raise their spine. Explore that. Allow your body memory of your first years, your first year of being alive to kind of take over and try, even if you have to fake it at the beginning, to really be experiencing this almost for the first time. Giving your spine chance to be explored. At the same time, while you move, you might experience some pain or some tension in some part. If you do, rather than trying to fix it, try to feel it so that you can breathe and send air to this part. And maybe through careful and constant movement, you will find relaxation. Keep on exploring the possibilities of movement that you have through your spine. You can see here, for example, if you come to, you can have your knees like this, or you can be sitting however you want. You can see here, just by moving the arms, that they are connected with the spine. So actually, any arm movement starts in the spine. It goes from the spine to the shoulder butterfly muscle into our arms. So still staying on a lower level, what does it mean to move your arm with that awareness of the space and where it comes from? Does it make it more whole? Does it give you a different awareness? Does it engage your body different? Explore for yourself. Keep that connection between your movement and your spine. Keep breathing. Keep your attention on the spine, on the spaces, muscles, and organs that are in close proximity to the spine, and keep your spine as the engager of all your movement. Few moments, you can start standing on your 2 feet. You've been on the floor enough. And now, when you're standing on your 2 feet, it does feel a little bit more separated, because it feels like your lower body can actually leave completely separate from your upper body. But that's not true because your hips connect your lower body to your spine. And it's through this connection and all these nerves that we have that we can hold our legs. You can jump. Our legs hold our spine, but it's through our body center, the place where everything meets around here, what in dance we call core, that body balance happens. So keep on moving freely and slowly. We are moving slow today. We are letting our bones do the movement. We move with awareness. We move gently so that we can start focusing in the core, which is intrinsically connected to our spine. You almost have to imagine the core being like a sphere that gets speared through. How do you say? The spine is like a big sword that cuts through. So they are somehow kind of connected like this. And it's when you have strong center and strong placement of spine that we can do balance. So let's play a little bit with this idea of balance. Going from one leg, standing on one leg, rotating and changing. You can bend your knees. Let's just play each one individually. This idea of standing in one leg and transferring the weight. It's on this moment that we realize how important it is to have a good core spinal connection, because this is what gives you stability. If I'm just thinking about my leg, my upper body is all over the place. So as you move from one leg to another, from one balance to another, think of your core. Think of it as a strong, united place of your body where everything meets. It can even be something really small, just like a step and a step, and you just make that moment in which we balance a little bit bigger. Strong center. If it helps, place your hand a little bit under your belly button and really kind of visualize that here in the middle of your body, there's a big sphere, which is your core. And that's what allows you to balance. Play a little bit more with it. Keep engaging your spine. Keep engaging your bones. Keep breathing. Keep your eyes open and your awareness both to the space outside, but also in the space inside your body. Visualize your spine. And now that we've played on the up level, let's explore another motion of the spine, which is the spiral. And that is what helps us a lot of times to go up and down. So, there's this technique called flying low technique. It's a contemporary dance form that goes through the whole idea of spiral. So to imagine how animals move, we move up and down through spirals. And that's what helps us to kind of move rather than, for example, just lifting up and down, unstable. Start imagining your descent up in a whirlpool, up and down. So the same transfer of weight you have from one side to another, you're doing up and down through a spiral. Explore spiraling. And you have to really use your spine here. There will be no spiral, no rotation without spinal awareness. Explore here. But the spine is not only a place of function and communication. The spine is also a place of emotion and feeling. And why do I say that? Whenever you hurt yourself, your skin has nerves that send information back to your brain that deduces that you have pain and sends a distress signal. So where do you think those distress signals go up and down? Through the spine. If you are faced with unbelievable sadness, and then for something you saw, for something you heard, it's through the spine that the distress signal comes for your body to cry or to fall down on the floor when you're really tired. So you have to imagine that the spine is also the sharer and the distributor of emotions. Some practitioners of body-mind centering, which is another technique of proprioception, believe that feelings are not only produced in our brain, but each feeling is related to a place in our body, an organ. The liver, as it cleans our body from impurities, also is the birthplace of anger, of rage. Our heart not only pumps our whole body with blood, but it's the source of the feelings of love. And if this is true, then it also means that actually feelings have to go through our spine so that they can be perceived through our brain. And since we are here, we're already dancing with our spine, let's try for a little bit to dance, to have the feeling of joy guide our dance. Let's try to have a joyful spine. What does that look like? Joyful spine, joyful spine, joyful spine, joyful limbs, joyful. But angry spine. Maybe the movement becomes more muscular, more tense. As you're moving, think of a situation that enrages you. Don't try to express it. Just try to feel it as you move. Let yourself really fall into that rage sensation. Raging spine. Raging spine. Raging nerves. Raging spine. And now, let's go to a different feeling. Indifference. The feeling of stoic, we say. Neither good or bad, just present. Just going through life, surviving it. As we've been moving for about half an hour now, you probably feel your body much different from what it was at the beginning. Maybe your perception of your body is more and more accurate, more sharpened. Maybe you've already stopped caring about the way that you look, and it just feels nice. Maybe you're sweating. You are in the middle of a body research in which you're trying to let go of what this all means, of what it looks like, and you try to open the eye of perception to what it feels like. And how can I use it? So I'm gonna play a song, and we're going to let that song go through, and we're going to have a little dance. We're going to engage the spine, and we're just going to dance a little bit. Wherever you are, try to just come to a place where you are standing and your feet are a little bit more than hip distance apart. Your knees are relaxed, and going to finish our movement practice, which is a repetitive spine movement, in which by creating a spine torsion as your lower body, your hips looking forward, you're going to twist your body, your whole spine. So you look back, because your spine only ends the crown of your head. This is quite usual movement here in our classes. I always do this movement. Normally at the beginning of the class for spinal activation. But since we've been moving the spine and we're of the spine for a while now, I want you to try this other movement at the end to kind of really harness all the potential that your spine has. Your eyes open, your arms are just swaying as a consequence of you really twisting the spine. Make it effortless. Feel your spine spiraling on itself. Keep your breath long. Keep your knees soft, don't lock them. Your eyes open, shoulders down. Feet strong on the mat or on the floor. Try to make your breath as long as you can, as deep as you can. And exhale also as much as you can, every little piece of air inside, without ever stopping to move. Just twisting my spine. The arms happen as a consequence. Now, come slowly to a halt. And using your spine awareness, let's try to spiral to the floor. So, top of my head down. See if you can do it. Try it out. Come down to the floor. And let's raise we've done this in yoga, just show it to the front. Let's do a little baby cradle position, holding the outside of your feet, relaxing your hips, flexors, and just use your spine and gravity to sway and bounce from one side to another, like a baby in the cradle. Just also take a chance to use gravity to massage your spine and the muscles around it. Your spine be heavy. Don't hold it. Let that big spare just fall on the ground. Feel its weight. Now, grab your knees. Try to bring them towards your chest. Just give yourself a hug. And let the weight of your body fall on the floor. And release. Find a position on the side that feels comfortable. Just stay there. Land on the floor. Let gravity take over. Don't hold your muscles. Unhold. Let your body unfold. And just like we did at the beginning of the class, let's turn our focus to our spine. Notice how more wide and awake it is. And let's use this perception throughout the rest of the day. Little stroll around our bodies to be aware of how much everything in our bodies is interconnected and goes through our highway. Thank you, everyone.